What we have here is a Triumph race bike. It's a flat tracker. Flat track is an American and Canadian sport. We race on oval tracks, horse tracks, everything from short track and half mile to mile tracks. It has a custom-made Trackmaster frame. It carries Sirianni road race forks. It's got Kennedy mags on it. The engine dates back to 1957. This is a 1970 engine. We've four-plugged the cylinder head, did some porting and cam work. Build up the horsepower. You might notice that the brake and the shifter's on the same side. Since we always turn left, you want both controls on the right-hand side. I've owned the bike for about 30 years. A number of people have raced it. I've sponsored over the years. My son's doing well with it in veteran class now. I've got a poem that was written by a good friend of mine. Jim died about 12 or 13 years ago. He was a founding member of the CMA. He was a competitor in motorcycle racing for years. He did everything except land speed record. I think he'd be happy that I'm doing his poem for you. It's called The Old Man at the Races. It means a lot to us guys that are getting on in age. You can see him at every race, boys, if you just look around. Near that tight, hard turn or fast, tricky bend, the old man can be found. He's leaning forward against the fence, watching the bikes go by, with a trace of a smile on his wrinkled face and a twinkle in his eye. And no one gives him a second glance as his hand twists on the rail. And no one's aware that this old man could tell many a racing tale. No one remembers till just a while ago this man who used to race, till his arms grew tired and his eyesight blurred, and the kid set too fast a pace. And when he couldn't stand the grind no more, with his bikes he had to part, when his back gave out and his eyesight too. But he still has a racer's heart. And he remembers, with a bit of sadness then, how he'd have carried that checkered flag until he got too old and he got too slow, and then far behind he'd lag, and so he gave up the game, the active part. But to all the races he must go, for he is a man with a racer's heart, and his heart would have it so. I watched the old man there, and I realized with a start that one day I or one of my friends would play the old man's part, and the careless crowd would pass us by, not seeing us twist the rail, not knowing our mouths go dry and our hearts beat fast when we hear the engines wail. One day the old man will ride again on that racetrack in the sky, and he'll be part of a roaring bike once more, with a twinkle in his eye. God grant me the right and the joy, for surely the good Lord can, to stand and thrill at the races when I am that old man. Thanks, Jim.